Hey, all you RW Motorsports fans, fanatics, and followers out there in social media world, Dirty Dan here. Nope, not at the RW Motorsports compound again this week for the weekend update. Getting some more R&R down here at the new place in Carbondale, Illinois. But at any rate, man, what we're here to talk about is the Eldora Four Crown Nationals and how the RW Motorsports team's weekend went. Don't really know where to start, man. We'll start with let's start with the midget program. The number 17 RW Kerr-Bagajanian Spike Fontana didn't have a good weekend, man. Wheeled by Dave Darlin. We didn't have a good weekend with that car, man. Rolled it out of the trailer and sent Dave out for hot laps, and boom goes the engine, and we didn't have another engine with us, so that kind of put that car out of commission for the weekend, and feel bad about it for Dave. Feel bad about it for the RW Motorsports team, but certain things happen, and it's just a bad weekend for the car, man. We'll have it all lined out and ready to go for him at Gold Crown, and we'll make it up to you fans out there, and make it up to Dave at Gold Crown for sure, man. So once again, next race out for that for the RW Midget and Dave Darlin. In that car will be the Gold Crown at Granite City at Tri-City Speedway over at Granite City, Illinois, October 2nd through the 4th, I do believe. So make sure you check us out there, man. Going to be a good time. Moving on, RW Motorsports and Mitch Wismiller Racing teamed up to get a sprint car together ready for Mitch for the Four Crown Nationals, man. And usually we run Mitch in the number 7 RW USAC Silver Crown car at Eldora, due to some things that's happened this year, losing a car at DeCoin and an engine on top of that, one of our triads. We didn't quite have the resources necessary to put the Crown car together for Mitch this year, so we decided to help him get his sprint car program lined out and get him a good ride, good piece for Eldora, and we did that. I can't say enough about how Evan Avehart, man, he spearheaded that effort and directed Mitch and his crew on what needed to be done and changes that need to be made. And it happened, man. And Mitch was very happy with his car. He had a good piece. We went out and in hot laps on Saturday. We were third quick, but the car was still extremely loose. So we felt like, man, we were in really good shape. So come in, and Kevin Hurst and Dave Newman were crewing on that car for Mitch on Saturday, and I can't give a big enough shout out to them and the job they do. It was, I've heard the stories about Evan and Dave and Kevin and Jimmy Newland and those days and at the magic that happened around them and the way they perform. And I have to say, man, I heard stories. I seen the real deal, man, and it's pretty impressive at what those guys can do when they're together. But at any rate, they went to work. They made some changes before qualifying. We drew a number 2, if you can believe that, man. I told Mitch I was not going to draw his number again this week at Hopstadt. I drew him 99 for the heat race and a 56 for the feature, man. So I didn't want to draw. Mitch sent me up there to draw anyway. We drew him a number 2. So the draw was good. We went out. Qualified, set it on the pole for a long time, man. We were sitting in P1 in qualifications, ultimately fell to P11, and I think we started 4th in the third heat, and Mitch went out, and the car was fast, man. The car was extremely fast, and Mitch run into a situation on the track, and he had one or two choices to make, and the choice he made was probably, was the better choice to make. It was either choose to hit the 5 car when he parked it on the entry to turn 1, or go high. And Mitch went high. I seen the look on Dave Newman's face as soon as Mitch went high with the setup they had in the car. The move wasn't going to work, and ultimately it didn't. Mitch got into the wall and got her upside down pretty hard, man. It destroyed the car. Mitch was sore, but he's okay. But the car, man's a total loss. It's my understanding that the engine block had got broken in that crash. The chassis is just. I think the only thing after talking to Mitch on Sunday was that the only thing salvageable out of the car was pretty much going to be the seat, the steering wheel, and the rear end. Everything else is pretty much junk on the car, as I know as of this date, and this is Wednesday, so I haven't talked to Mitch since Sunday, so I'm not really sure, but at any rate, man, it was a hell of an effort by RW Motorsports, by Mitch Wismiller Racing, and by Mitch himself, and Kyle, and all the guys that help him out. Once again, big shout out to Dave Newman and Kevin Hurst for what they done for Mitch and that car. Really had high expectations and high hopes for it, man. But at any rate, man, that's racing, man. You know, sometimes things happen. So we move on from there. We ended up in a rain delay, which turned it into the 24 hours of Eldora. And they finally ended up postponing the features until Sunday. And I think we got rolling off at about noon on Sunday. We just kind of sat around and watched the midget and the sprint feature, kind of kept an eye on the track, kind of kept an eye on our driver for the day, Chris Wyndham, in the number 17 RW Curb Agajanian Beast Triad Racing Technologies Toyota. And he was in both the midget race and the sprint car race. So we kind of paid attention to what he was doing, got some information from him, kind of paid attention to what the track was doing. Evan was on top of his game on Sunday without a doubt, in keeping up with the track and communicating with Chris, like I said, in those other two divisions, to get an idea of what was going on. Finally, it comes around to the Crown race, and we gridded 5th for the Crown race, is where we started that 50-lap feature. And we kind of knew going in, the Hoosier guys come and talked to us, and we kind of knew going in that there was going to be some tire issues. Not only from, the communications with the Hoosier guys, but, Evan had made some last minute changes right there on the starting grid to try to combat that and do the best we could with what we thought was going to happen. What we thought was going to happen ultimately happened. The right rear started letting go. On not only our car, but on several cars, there was tire issues throughout the field. And, not going to beat Hoosier up, not going to beat anybody up over that. It was just, it was a day race. The track took rubber, and that's what it was. The track was really not what everybody anticipated on Sunday after all the rain we had got Saturday night. It was really strange how that all ended up. But there was a lot of wind on Sunday, so, maybe that played a factor. I don't know. But at any rate, man, conditions were the same for everybody. We blew a right rear. Once again, I don't have my notes here with me. They're sitting on my desk at the RW Motorsports compound. Somewhere around lap 25, 30, somewhere in there, we blew a right rear. And the crew done a hell of a job getting that tire changed and getting Chris back out, which put us at the tail of the field on the restart. Chris some of the moves that he was putting on, I know there was some complaining and some complaints to USAC. About some of the sliders Chris was putting on, about how aggressive he was coming through the field. But you know what? It's racing, man. Either you want it or you don't. He didn't tear anybody up. He didn't hit anybody. He didn't tear our equipment up. He just went out and raced hard. And sometimes I think when you have somebody that wants to rate, that's the way they race. And that's why we love Chris, is how aggressive he is and how he's always about pushing the car forward. But at any rate, man, Chris done a hell of a job, man. We ended up, we crossed the line in third. There was some controversy at the end of the race. I know it's been a big controversy in the social media world, but there really is nothing to say on it. It's a non-issue, man. The rules clear as can be. The rules were violated, which resulted in a huge performance advantage for the winner of the race. They were disqualified, which moved us up ultimately to a second place finish in the Silver Crown portion. So we're happy with that. Once again, we went to win the race, so we felt like we left a little bit out on the table. I know in the little bit of discussion I've had with Chris, he felt like we left a little bit out on the table as well. And it is what it is. We got one more race to get this together and get this monkey off our backs, and that's Syracuse, and we're really looking forward to that with the Crown car. So going to go up there and see what we can do, man. Now, I do know this. Our team manager, crew chief, Evan Avehart, has been to Syracuse, I think, twice, and he's undefeated at Syracuse. Both times he's went there, he's won. So he knows how to get around the place. He knows how to get a car set up to get around the place. So I think we're going to be really good up there. So hopefully, we get quite a few cars up there. I know there's some teams that has been saving their budgets and their cars to go to Syracuse. So all this hoopla in social media world about the car counts and everything else, that's doing more damage than anything to the series is the negativity. And I don't mean you have to be Pollyanna, and everything's hunky dory and rainbows and unicorns. That's not what I'm saying. But at the same time, man, you got to keep it positive and only question what needs questioned, man. Let the rest of it go. But at any rate, man, that's where we stand here at RW Motorsports. So that was our weekend at the Four Crown Nationals. Next race, like I said, for us is the Gold Crown over at Granite City, October 2nd through the 4th with the midgets. So be over there, man. Say hello. Come back by the pits. See us. Say hello, man. Meet Dave. We'll get you. He'll have some shirts for sale over there and things like that. We'll have. I know he's got hero cards and we'll get you introduced to him, man. Get you autographed, whatever it is you need, man. So with that, going to get out of here for right now, and I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors: Rotunda Wireage, Kerbag Janian, Triad Racing Technologies, Toyota, Rod End Supply, Hyperco, Joe Gibbs Driven Racing Oil, Hoosier Tires, Brown Miller Racing Solutions, Weld Racing, Steel Performance, K&N, Simpson, Lincoln Welders, ISC Racer Tape, Winners Performance, Willwood Brakes, King Products, Josh Ford Motorsports, and Saldana. And a big, huge shout out to all you fans, fanatics, and followers of RW Motorsports out there, man. You're making our day when you show up in the pit area. And, hey, man, we want to see more of those videos. Hey, we love it. We love what you're doing, man. I'm telling you, I said it last week's wrap-up. We feed off that stuff, and it keeps us going, man. So I know the team enjoys hearing the feedback. I know it drives them. I know it picks them up and makes them pick the performance up to another level, man, which is kind of unbelievable with given the intensity and the level that we operate with here at RW. So it's a pretty awesome deal, man. So other than that, this is Dirty Dan from some much needed R&R, man. So we'll catch you later.